the Chase Thomas Podcast, for people who have nothing but time to kill.
Especially in his final game. So that's an interesting roster. How that scores in the big freaking 12, I don't know. So best of luck to you. But they are my pick. I hope I'm not outing a friend or sponsor, whatever of yours. The Overtime account, Twitter, Instagram, whatever, Overtime.
Yeah.
They're my pick for the TikTok team of the year, of a team that has like 5 amazing dunks against like Mississippi Valley State and then goes 12-19. Not a serious roster, not a serious team. Highlight reel at best. I hate everything about how this team is run. Anyway, my other love of the college basketball offseason, this one I feel less strongly about, but I've been trying to highlight teams that are in big conferences that I feel like didn't do a great job, but made several ads.
Yeah.
I don't feel good about Texas again. And you were right earlier. I would agree with you that this roster is lesser than last year's. Whereas, like, if you went, so I'm going to read the names to you, and they're going to sound great. Jason Kent, Julian Larry from Indiana State, Tremont Mark from Arkansas, Jordan Pope, Oregon State, Malik Presley, Vandy. On paper, all 5 of those are really fun ads. Like, it's a pretty interesting, like, name power roster. You have a little bit of a narrative of, like, it's not that Texas was bad last year.
Yeah.
But they weren't the year before when they had the hyper talented team. I just look at it and we don't really, like, I can't tell you, like, Malik Presley was bad on a bad Vanderbilt team. I'm not really sure why you're going to get him for depth. You don't bring back anybody notable from last year. Like, Tyrese Hunter's gone, Dylan Mitchell's gone.
Well, that's the thing. Are any of these players better than Dylan Mitchell or Tyrese Hunter?
Or here's one for you that's horrifying for the front court. Are any of these players better than Dylan Dessou?
Yeah.
Are they?
So I think that's the thing. Like, they're the ultimate, like, people get caught up in, like, who you brought in the transfer portal. Like, fans are just like, oh, Texas, look at all these names they brought in. Like, look at who they lost. Like, these are not bad. Like, it's just because you know Hunter and you know Mitchell and you know where they were last year. But it's like, no, they're better. If they were coming in this cycle, and if you flip it, you're like, oh, they got better. Like, that's the whole thing, is like, oh, wow, Texas added Dylan Mitchell and Tyrese Hunter. Those are nice ads. Like, it's no, I don't think they're better.
And the thing is, like, in a vacuum, several of these ads are quite good. Like, I like Julian Larry a lot. He was awesome at Indiana State. Tremont Mark was genuinely Arkansas's best player. Again, lost season, but he was quite good. I mean, he showed out against multiple very good teams. And I wouldn't even say, like, that I hate adding an Oregon State guy. Oregon State's awful, but Jordan Pope shot 37% from 3 for them. Decent ball handler. And it could just be like, you give him a better system to thrive in, and he could show out quite well. But they don't really return anybody great from last year. The best returner is probably Caden Shedrick, the UVA transfer, who's like a bench piece last year. Yeah. They do get Trey Johnson, a 5-star freshman, but I don't like anything great about this. Like, I like Mark a lot. I like Pope. I even like Larry quite a bit. But you don't have a star or interesting center here. Trey Johnson, 5-star freshman, could be awesome, but we've seen 5-star freshmen really struggle. And to go with that, he's going into a new league entirely. I mean, Big 12 basketball is kind of its own little war, but I do feel pretty strongly that SEC basketball is the most physical version of Power 5 basketball. Yeah. It's just different. That's different. And I don't like what they did. I don't like these ads. I don't like how they fit. I would.
Are they a tournament team next year?
Huh?
Are they a tournament team next year?
I think they're a tournament team, but it's kind of like their fans got into the mode under Beard, perhaps willingly so, of saying like, hey, we're going to be top 15 every season. And I don't feel like that's the case. To me, they kind of feel like a 6 or a 7 seed heading into the season.
I think which is worse.
They may well be worse because I can see it offensively. I can't see it defensively with this team. They could really struggle to get stops.
Well, and think about it too. When you're going to the SEC, like, part of the reason I think they're in for a rude awakening in multiple ways is I was thinking about, like, so South Carolina's not a pushover. So they break through, right? Like, South Carolina, Lamont Paris has got that thing moving. Arkansas is going to be better. I think Florida is going to be better. I think Ole Miss is going to be better. I think Mizzou doesn't have the season from hell again going into next year. Vanderbilt, I think, is improved.
I think is going to be way better is Vandy. Vandy's roster upgrade is they should be talked about way more. Mark Byington killed it in the portal. So there's the Big 12 is great, obviously, but there's not a UCF in this conference.
No. I don't even know who the preseason favorite is to be the worst team in the SEC this year.
It's probably Georgia or LSU, one of those two.
Georgia, things went this fan base is excited about next year and getting a 5-star kid and all that, up and up. I think it's probably LSU. You could sell me on. I'd lean LSU. I guess you can maybe Oklahoma. Maybe could Oklahoma be?
I think you can make a case for which that's going to be interesting discourse if they are the worst with Moser in year 4. Yeah, year 4.
Oh, that's a good over-under. Will Warmland on this. Porter Moser and Rodney Terry are still coaching at Texas and Oklahoma 2 years from now.
Over-under meaning they're both coaching or just one of the two?
Both gone. It only works if both are not there in 2 years.
I actually lean towards neither being there in 2 years now that I think
I do too. And the stuff this offseason, the flirtation, I don't know. I think
I don't think he wants to be there long term. And with Rodney, the contract is the question to me, how big would the buyout be? Yeah. This is nothing. I didn't realize. So Rodney Terry only makes $3 million a year. That's
it's
nothing
also
for Texas.
Yeah,
Texas could fire him tomorrow. They'd be fine.
Yeah, I don't think either are there in 2 years.
No.
Will, what can the good folks check out from you over at statsbywill.substack.com?
I've got a new piece coming hopefully next week. A continuation of an idea I did a year or two ago about over and underachievers versus the KenPom preseason rankings. But this one's just coach based. Can you guess the only coach who has, for 8 straight years, which is amazing, 8 straight years overachieved?
Nicely done, nephew. The Chase Thomas podcast. Hell yeah.